What's happening, folks? Back with another reaction, back with some more and we're returning to their 2000 album Minor Earth Major Sky, and we're going to listen to the next tune, which is called I Wish I Cared. I'm fascinated by the phrase. It seems almost internally contradictory, the idea that one is indifferent or has a lack of emotion, and yet one has a normative desire to initiate that emotion, to sort of find an emotion and to care about something or someone. So it's an emotionally complicated declaration. The idea that one wishes you could muster the emotion perhaps appropriate or at least relevant to a situation, but for whatever reason it's not there, and yet you on some level wish that it was. It's a very complicated sort of emotional state. I suppose I could see scenarios in which it would be relevant. The idea that in a complicated relationship with lots of twists and turns, you might reach a point where you still value the person, you still on some level wish that you could make it work with them, but you just can't bring yourself to reinvest and go through the same twists and turns and end up with the same problems on the other side of the hill every time. So maybe in that context you could say, like, look, I wish I cared. I wish, I felt the same energy to go through this, but at this point I'm just throwing up my hands, like I can't do this anymore. So again, that's a very specific and speculative route, but I can conceive of a scenario in which someone has no more emotion to give, even though if they could muster it, they would be happy to do so. So let's find out what it is. This is The track is I Wish I Cared, and it's from their 2000 album Minor Earth Major Sky. I like that. It's like the tune was buried and we're bringing it back out for the world to hear. Okay, if you don't care, just keep singing like that. The strings. Oh, and they're kind of like phased a little bit. Oh, that little wrinkle. Going from always thinking in terms of two to thinking in terms of just yourself again. had a winning vocal line with that sort of elevating, because it's like we get it throughout and now we get it layered here. Sonically, it's a beautiful tune and very like invigorating or rejuvenating, restorative. It's interesting. Lyrically, I didn't catch everything, but what I did catch, it sounds like maybe there is something to that. The idea that like it's a complicated relationship and they really wish they could still find that emotional conviction and commitment, but for whatever reason it's not there. They really wish they could care. They really do. And I was amused by it, but also recognized the significance of that. The idea that like this isn't lip service. I'm not just saying this so it sounds good as we break up. That like, you know, I wish I still cared. It's like I really do wish I could find a way to like be in this in the way that I would need to be. I just can't. So yeah, it's like a little line, but it's like one of those things where like sometimes a little line, which you could even just take as like a vocalization, just a little bit of emphasis on the line, like I really do. But in that context, I feel like it actually like, you know, relates to the way that these two people would be speaking to each other. So once again, I realize with a lot of a-ha songs, I'm going into it kind of thinking on a general level, and then in a lot of cases there's like a specific angle. So even if it's like the same or like the theme is sort of right, like I still might not be looking at it correctly. So that may be the case here, and I do apologize if that is the case. But again, when I do these reactions, I do subsequent listens where I really do try to sort of catch up, and I, you know, listen with the comments that people make in mind, which is a fun journey for me. I have to say, like, you know, you see the part that's on camera, but then a number of people give me information. I go back, I re-listen to the tunes, I hear certain lines, like, oh wow, yeah, like I definitely hear what they're saying there. And then it's this sort of process where over time I come to know them more, which is why I mentioned when I get to the end of this long a-ha journey, which someone was just saying, like, you know, in terms of the studio material, you're about halfway at this point. But when I get to the end of that journey, and hopefully when I've heard some live stuff, I do want to get the Unplugged album. A couple people have mentioned that, and now it is fresh in my head. It's someone pointed out it was something that was mentioned a couple days ago, but I have a lot of information coming at me, but it is in my mind now, so... yeah, but at the end of all that, I do have a plan to go through and do some second look reactions for tunes that I've kept listening to and want to talk about more. So again, way down the line, but hopefully you're here for that too. Let me know what you think of this tune. I'll see you next time. Peace.